no power steering, no aircon, no electric windows, no airbags, no central locking, no nothing in fact. The main feature of this car is that it has no features. Well, when they said you need your videos to go viral, I'm not sure Corona is what they meant. We're in the middle of the Corona crisis. I haven't got a fat lot to do, so I'm going to make a lot of videos. Well, hopefully. I'm going to make some videos. I'm going to make one video, let's face it, and then I'm going to be busy. Do I look silly with this one? Anyway. So, the lads at the garage, my professional friends you can hear in the background, have asked me to test drive this 45-year-old MGB GT, and they wanted to get up to operating temperature, and they want to go through the whole procedure of finding out what works, what doesn't work, and putting it right before it goes off to the customer, because this car is actually sold. So I'm down at the professionals garage, and we can have a look at some of the projects that they've got going on. Mainly it's this one. Is the Triumph Stag. It's been a very long, ongoing project, stuff on it. But everybody always gets distracted when they're working on the Stag, and they end up doing other things. So, but the car is getting there. It's been a few years in the making. Apparently, it's worth a load of money. And then, of course, we've got the MG, which have actually we've been out and driven this, and it's a 1977, I believe, MGB GT. Great little car. I prefer this to the Stag personally. It's a bit more of a friendly sort of car, friendly sort of colour. A quick walk around of that little beauty. So that's a classic British motor car. Very nice. With the sliding sunshine roof, as the old car dealers used to say, and no aircon, but you do get extra deodorant, because you need that. A good practical car for the 60s and 70s, I believe. Had loads of space in the boot. You could get your golden retriever, or whatever was the dog of choice at the time. Even if you had two small Sproglings, they could go in the back there. I believe everybody who drove one of these had to have a sort of quite a droopy handlebar moustache. It's the perfect car for that kind of chap. So while Rory was filling up the car with petrol, I had a good chance to look round, and so did the guy next to us, and he was admiring it, but he did point out that we were leaking large amounts of oil from underneath the engine. We decided to make a hasty exit and get back to the workshop. Right, this is me driving a 40-something-year-old MGB GT. This car hasn't been on the road for probably 4 or 5 years, if not longer. And we've just been out to the petrol station to fill it up. And I'm just driving it back to the garage now, so it's an interesting little experience. I've never driven an MGB GT before. I'm not that keen on British cars, but it's scary. Oh no, I don't want to do that. All these modern car drivers, they don't give you the benefit of the doubt. Are you actually pointing at me, Rory?
Yeah, of course it is.
There's definitely something wrong with the timing on this. It's running, the dizzy needs turning, in my humble experience of not being a mechanic. Do we need to try the brakes here?
Try it.
Not much in the way of brakes, and I think it's just stalled.
That was the clutch, that was. I'd have gone down there.
I'm going down there.
You stalled it, that's why. Hey, she comes back alive.
We did have a bit of an oil. Is it coming out of the carburetor?
So it's in petrol coming out the car.
No,
it's oily.
It's oil. You go underneath there where it's dripping. Look, you can even see
all,
the back.
It's all there, so hang on.
All out the carb?
No. It's running like, oh, where the fuck's that coming from? It's just right up there. Oh, it's stripped out the oil. Yeah. I think what I do, you put the old rocker box back on. Because it's not breathing, it's coming out the air filter, the oil leak is, but it's not breathing.
Well, you've got a pipe there, that's a breather pipe that doesn't go anywhere.
No, it does.
It goes there.
I broke that out, it was split a bit, but it's actually dripping out the air filter. So it's dumping it back through.
We're a bit overrun with classics at the moment. Rob's got the little red Mini on the go.
Change that rocker box back to the old one. Yeah.
And we've got the MG here.
That's all we're going to do, is put these in.
And there's like my slightly modern GT diesel. And then in this room, we've got this. So I'm in the professional's garage, and the lads have asked me to test drive a car for them to make sure it runs for a prolonged period of time. So is it going to be that nice little Peugeot there? No, it's not, unfortunately. Is it going to be this very reliable Golf? No. The thing that I'm going to have to test drive for a prolonged period of time is this. Well, that's the man who did own it until recently, and he's just sold it on to a customer, and I need to test it before it goes to said customer for reliability. So I am Mr. Reliability. Things on cars you don't get anymore. There's this very long, dangerous tunnel that will crush your legs in the event of an accident. Windy windows. Your aftermarket speakers sort of bodged into the door. You got a British Leyland spec handle. I mean, look at this. This is quality bit of kit. That, you can't do it when it's open, but that locks the car, and this, that stinks of the 70s. Rev counter, temperature gauge, they all wibble wobble when you're going around. Oil gauge, you don't get that on modern cars. The seat belts, I think the seat belts are amazing because they're in the back. The seat belts for the front are in the back, and you put them over your shoulders, and the poor people in the back are just left as projectiles when you hit something to come flying through and bash you on the back of the head. Well, very possibly this video is going to be called Why You Should Never Buy an Old Car. And I don't mean buying one that's 10 years old, I mean one that's 45 years old. This is one of the reasons why you should never buy a classic car, because it's stall. They've got chokes and they're no good. And I can't work the heater. It's a very good example of a classic car. It's actually completely undrivable. I'll probably be dangerous driving this. It'll probably catch fire any minute and take me and my cameras with it. Oh, I'll tell you what, finding the gears is and there's a car pulling out in front of me, and the brakes are a bit iffy, got to say, and every time you stop, you stall. Well, I was hoping to bring you lots of footage and constructive criticism and all the positive things that I need to say about a car like this. In the 1970s, Britain used to make a lot of cars, and they made a lot of these. This is an MGB GT. They made 500,000 of these cars, and they were sold all over the world. They sold a lot in America and South Africa and Australia and places like that. And this one is at home. But the standards set by modern manufacturers, if you get into your BMW, your Audi, your Renault from today, they work generally. And this hasn't been used for a while, so it's not a good example. But I've just taken it out for a test drive and put some fuel in it, and it's broken down. So I'm sitting on the side of the road on a rainy day in Birmingham. I'm finding it hard work, to be fair. It's got no power steering, it's got no electric windows, it's got no aircon, the heater doesn't really work. It's bumpy, it's noisy, it's not actually very comfortable. It has got an overdrive though. It's got a Laycock overdrive now, if that doesn't make you laugh. I'm going to try and start it again now, see if it goes. I've been sitting for a couple of minutes letting the fuel evaporate in case I flooded it. If this reminds you of when you were young, if you're old enough like me to remember cars that didn't bloody go, and you're grateful for driving your diesel Audi, it's it's a rainy day in Birmingham. In fact, it's always a rainy day in Birmingham. And I'm broken down in an industrial estate in a 45-year-old car. My hair's getting wet. We've got coronavirus going on at the moment, so I'm hoping nobody comes and talks to me. And we're just having a look at this. Of all the criticisms I'm giving it now, the unreliability, the fact that it was made in England, all that crap, it's still a nice little car, isn't it? It's a really pretty little car. Now, legendary on one of my earlier videos is the old Vauxhall Brava, which has now come to recover this car as well. It was seen towing my Alfa Romeo in one of the first videos we did. That is a great piece of kit. It might look a bit ropey, but it's an amazing vehicle. And this is an amazing man who mends stuff all the time. So anyway, we're going to tow this piece of junk back, and Pete's going to mend it. Look everybody, it's the view of the open road. This is what it's like to own a classic car. You can expect to get up to heady height speeds of 6 miles an hour. You gotta love a Vauxhall Brava, haven't you? So we're back in the unit, and the car's been recovered. Pete immediately off the top of his head reckons it could be the condenser, so that might work. There he goes, with these little flashing lights on the roof. He loves that, man. It's got these weird things on the back, which are kind of debumperizing plastic mouldings. It's got front and back to make it look like something it isn't. If you're looking to buy a toy car for yourself to sit in the garage, take out at weekends, take around to car shows and things like that, an MGB GT is a very good, affordable choice. And that's what this channel is all about. It's about accessible autos, ones you can buy for reasonable money. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There's loads more stuff going on. We're going to follow the Stag in process of being repaired. Maybe more footage on this when we can finally get the thing running, and my Alfa Romeo project will continue as well. So take care of yourselves, stay safe.